Alright. Today we are what? 5 nights at Fat Camp by Paul. Fat Camp. Fat Camp. That even legal? That just like what you mean by Fat Camp? That not sound legal, dog. Like a camp where you bring your pitney them go lose weight. You should have deal with that from their yard. Come on, bad parent. Fat Camp. That not sound legal, but we get your revolver say.
For the sake of my bank account and future legal team, this story is purely fictional. Any and all characters, places, or objects were made up and just used for the purpose of storytelling. Please do not sue me.
Nights at Fat Camp.
So, this story takes place during the summer, right before I went to high school. My mom pulls me and my siblings into her room for a surprise. But instead of showing
Oh
us,
man.
our new PS5,
No that
some
man know how you as a parent make it get out of hand. Like, well, America. And but still dog, like why all of the look up at them obese? Or the parents them not have time, or the parents them not care, or the parents them just not know. You can't even say no. There's so much information out there. Like why you putting it overweight? Feel like at the time, yeah, them not have time, mafia work, them get pitney that, the pitney go eat McDonald's, da. Feel like at that, but still a fat camp, that sound like some wicked thing, dog. Like one bag of fat pitney, yo, attention. That not sound legal at
express
all.
passes to Disney World or, anything that children would normally enjoy, she instead showed us 4 one-way tickets to go to summer camp. And after looking at the fine print, we quickly realized that it wasn't
Mm.
just any ordinary summer camp, it was a fat camp. Looking back at this, I'm just realizing how kind my siblings are because at the time, none of my mom's kids were even remotely fat except for me.
Ooh.
But none of them even said anything,
Style,
which
she used style, she used style.
is crazy because if the roles were reversed and I had to spend 1 month of my life in some ugly ass camp because my siblings couldn't put the food down, oh, I'd be protesting like my human rights were on the line. But regardless of the reason, we all hopped on a plane, did the mandatory weigh-in, and
A
changed it to
plane. So this wasn't even in the same city where them they are not them have to take a plane. Different state, probably a different country. I don't know. But that's crazy though. What plane? We got fat camp? Oh my god. One thing them do, like one thing like them did have to do like a fat camp. I guess you gotta talk about it, but no, just guess some things with them probably have to do like, yo, nothing more than 500 calories per meal. No, only water. What else you think them a touch at the look up in them with? Like, this is something we're supposed to deal with in your yard, dog. Come on.
camp appropriate attire. We also had to give up all of our devices, so no phones, no iPads, no laptops. You couldn't use anything while at the camp.
No iPod
Now,
kids.
with this being my first time ever camping, I thought it would be a smart idea to
Whoa.
check out the living arrangements. Pause real quick. I need to emphasize how I have never gone camping before, so please do not judge me. But just imagine my horror and confusion when I saw this instead of a mattress. The beds are
Rubber.
bare. No sheets, no blankets, no pillows, nothing. Now, luckily, my mom hadn't left yet, mainly because my baby brother was too busy being a mama's boy and crying every single time my mom attempted to leave, so I was able to ask her to drive to go pick up some bedding from the nearby Walmart. Now, this may seem kind of irrelevant, no one is watching a Fat Camp vid to see the sleeping conditions, but hold on, I'm gonna get to it. Since the camp is separated by gender, my sister and I decided to go to the campfire area and find our cabin counselors and bunkmates. I'm gonna call the cabin counselors Miss B and Miss Rachel, and shout out to y'all
Miss
because you were
Rachel.
real heroes. You still have my phone number. If you want to hit me up, call me. And as for my bunkmates, we're gonna call them Meg, Lily, Cam, and Betty. So as we're saying our hellos, I immediately noticed that Lily has wired headphones on. And I'm kind of confused how she's using wired headphones if we all had to give our phones up before we
Yo,
enter the
don't be a snitch. Don't be a snitch. Don't be a snitch. Obviously, Lily have a plug and she get in some contraband. Why you allow the Lily thing? Come on.
Damn. So as I'm trying to ask her how she snuck those in, she immediately takes my hand and leads me to the back of some random cabin and starts drilling me. You would have thought we were in The Walking Dead, the way
Yeah,
she is
bro,
quizzing me right now
cause
on camp
you
knowledge.
just you
Do
pull
you
up and you just
know about the food
like
situation
calm
here?
down.
No, I just got to camp like 3 minutes ago. Okay, what about your workout cycle? Have you picked out a rotation yet? My rotation?
So them really have them like soldier then. Okay, them really have them like soldier. Just let me think. Yeah, the food situation, the workout cycle. Did it help though? Like, did it work? Although I don't think it's like a like morally like I did say you have to go for make your pitney lose weight. A fat camp. I mean still not think that legal.
Pause real quick. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently our camp was super popular since it got featured in an infamous MTZ show. But since I wasn't really aware of any of that, I just thought that Lily was tweaking out. But she takes a quick look at my
Oh.
arm and she peeps the wristband they gave me on the way in. You see how yours is red? You only get one serving of food at meal times. Anyone with a green wristband can go back for seconds. But honestly, I'd be shocked
Okay.
if you even want to eat.
That's not bad though, but why you need 2 servings of food anyways? Were you eating 2 servings of food at home? That's crazy.
Past the first round.
You even know like the servings of we I eat for real. Like, how even know the servings of we I eat? Cause we not look on the label, we not say, yo, this a 1 serving of rice and this and that. So we'll probably like you 3 servings of food every day and I wonder how, 3 servings of food every meal and in a one meal and not everyone know say, oh, these are 3 servings. Probably if we did actually eat the servings, them what they on the something. Or if we did practice eat them from a longer time, so most people would have fat. Just an idea.
Pause! Okay, so I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but as I'm hearing Lily talk, I kind of wasn't taking her too seriously. Because
Okay.
trust on the way in, I noticed that the camp was 99.9%. Yeah,
Why?
and if you couldn't tell by my little character, I am in fact. So even though Shawty was tweaking, I was thinking she was one of those kids who would unironically sing,
I am not afraid of hell. I am from Connecticut.
but in retrospect, Shawty was really just trying to do me a favor. How, you may be wondering?
Shaggy rundown.
I'm glad you asked. So, say if you were going to something like fishing camp, right? How many hours do you think you would dedicate to learning how to fish?
6.
I'm thinking 3, maybe 4 hours max. You know, enough to just learn something new every day, but not enough to burn out. So that's how I thought
I would
this
say
fat camp would
6.
be. A few hours outside, doing some exercise, a break to talk about nutrition, or maybe a cooking class, and then the rest of the time can be spent doing whatever it is normal people do at summer camp.
Oh, that makes sense.
But boy,
But the whole concept of fat camp should even exist. Cause what? That just don't. This still not sound legal to me. Dog. I don't know what about it, but it just sound fat camp, fat camp.
I couldn't have been more wrong. Let me tell you how our actual camp schedule was. Every day, you wake up and do 2 straight hours of exercise. Then you go eat quote unquote breakfast. After that meal, you do 3 more hours of various exercises, followed by quote unquote lunch. You get no downtime and are immediately rushed into 3 more hours of exercise before quote unquote dinner. And after you eat, you go to this mandatory 1 hour long camp meeting in this random barn where half the people are either falling asleep or sneaking out to go smoke by the lake. And
Smoke?
before I get
So you say them I keep on them weight and I smoke. That's crazy. How old are these children? Are probably at the camp counselor them.
back to the plot, let me give you an example of something that we would be served to fuel us for a grueling 5
Okay.
hours of non-stop
Let's
workouts.
see.
We'd have a selection of soup, scrambled eggs, tea, milk, 1/2 of a gluten-free bagel, and some sugar-free jello.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You did if you lose weight. And I agree with the concept, but that sounds solid. That sounds solid, bro.
Mind you, it's not like we get to eat all of these options. We had to pick which one we get to
Okay,
eat.
okay, wait. Okay. That. All right. We'll really check this out. All right. Soup or scrambled egg, tea or milk, jello or half a bagel. And you eat this one meal. Oh no, they make one extreme. Oh no, my bad. You eat this one meal. This is crazy. This one meal and okay. All right. Them really that's some extreme weight loss. Well, like 3 months and a half still. How long camp last? 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. Oof. Yeah, them want you lose at least 15 pounds before you left. Okay.
And you can't go back for seconds unless you were at your target weight and had the little green wristband. And that's because the goal of this camp wasn't for you to learn how to healthily lose weight and keep it off,
Just lose
but
weight.
rather to make every camper lose the most amount of weight in the shortest amount of time humanly possible by making us burn so many yet consume so little calories that our bodies would be forced to drop weight in the few weeks we spend there. But middle school me did not know any of this at the time, so I just decided to cut her off from her Katniss Everdeen head-eye explanation because, to be honest, I was tired and didn't want to hear all that yap. Yo, so I saw you have an iPod. How'd you manage to get that in here? We're allowed to have electronics. As long as they don't have screens or Wi-Fi, I just use this to play music. Oh really? What do you have downloaded? Any rap in there? Any nigga whole Hamilton playlist? And for many of you, I know this would have been a deal breaker, but for me being the black nerd that I was geeked. So I took one of her earbuds, put it in my ear, and we just sat there listening to music. And this moment, this was the true calm before the storm. Just me and Lily chilling and listening to my shot. And at the time, I thought, you know what? Camp really could not be that awful. Because come
Yeah.
on, how bad could this possibly be?
A lie. Yeah, tell me say them actually what? Somebody faint? Oh no. I guess if I give somebody one meal a day for work for 6 hours straight, not even somebody, a child. Okay. I guess it makes sense. Shit.
Second day in this place. Tell me why my big sis Chantel is literally having a deadly allergic reaction.
Oh,
Because despite telling
not too bad. Allergic, not too bad.
of the camp staff that she's allergic to dairy, they decided to serve her tomato soup with milk in it. So as I'm watching this, my big sister literally dying, my other younger brother, Philly, he comes over to check out the situation. And I see that his hair looks like he's been shot by lightning. Boy, what happened to you? Oh yeah, the people in my bunks and my hair look like sheep's wool. So they started picking at it like a petting zoo.
What?
In the span of 24 hours, my sister nearly died and my brother's fresh cut was washed. But on the brighter side, the days following were actually really good. At least for me personally. I can't speak for them. I was enjoying my time there. The exercises were pretty fun and all the other campers were super supportive.
I wouldn't want to be in the bed.
So, yeah, I didn't really know what all of that was about, but I genuinely didn't really
Dog,
want
how
to
old are these children? Oh my god.
know because me personally, I like to mind my own. But outside of that little awkward moment, my sister nearly dying, and my brother's cut literally getting completely ruined, my first week of camp was going pretty well. On like the 5th day, I had gotten in good with Lily and Betty, and we were talking at dinner time. Dude, we have to skip the meeting tonight. What? Why?
Meeting?
Because every other Friday, the camp owner comes down and gives a super obnoxious speech that always leaks into free time. Pause real quick, I forgot to mention. Free time is like an hour after the evening meetings.
Oh, so yeah, this is prison. Yeah, prison. An hour free time, an hour for see daylight, work for 6-8 hours, one meal, at least you get 3 meal, one meal. But, oh no, one serving actually, my bad. Yeah, prison, this is prison. Them have the little pitney them in a prison. Yeah, crazy.
So right after we leave the barn, we get like 1 hour of freedom where we can kind of do whatever. If we don't skip, we'll have to sit for the whole 2 hours. And when I tell you, these meetings were already so mind-numbingly boring, with just the counselors leading it. I couldn't imagine if the owner of the camp were to go for double the airtime with 0 break. So I agreed to ditch with them, and instead we go down by the lake, just gossiping and playing games for the first hour. But as time is passing,
People, so I actually depicting them as smoke then. Okay. How old are these children?
you know, my consciousness starts to kick in.
Nigga, if you don't get back in that barn, you know you have an African mom. Both of these girls have white moms. Get back there.
And for anyone out there with a Nigerian mom, you know that she is not to be messed with. So out of a sworn sense of duty and pride, and mostly a fear of authority, I tell my girls I'm gonna go back for the evening meeting. And as I'm getting close to the back of the barn, I can still hear the insidious yap fest inside ensue. So I try to get close to the front doors and just pretend that I had been lost or sick the entire time, and that I wasn't really just trying to skip. So there I am, sneaking my way to the back of the barn, when all of a sudden, I hear the craziest sounds coming from around the corner. And despite my better judgment that typically tells me to mind my own, and you know, I don't support him, don't free R. Kelly please, but I just gotta do something real quick. Close to the corner, I'm approaching the corner, peek around the corner, now I'm turning the corner. Now pause the story, cause what I'm about to tell y'all is so damn twisted. Not only was Miss Rachel skipping her and her girl, they was kissing. Wow, I cannot sing to save my life. I cannot wait to hear that back. But yeah, this is my first video. I'm so sorry for both your eyes and
Rachel, I did the console. Okay.
ears, because the quality of this is probably about to be so poor. But I've been trying to make a video since January, I think, probably earlier than that. And I just realized at a certain point that perfection is the true enemy of progress. So I'd rather put out something that's kind of straight cheeks than wait any further and delay what could have been. But yeah, you know, if you want a part 2, which I probably will make regardless, but if you do want one,
yeah, we
please
need
leave a
part
like,
2.
subscribe.
We don't want part 2, right? We don't want part 2. But that was a video. What would you think? I think that was illegal. Fat camp, and why them little pitney do all sort of drugs and one bag of thing like you see, and your pitney got a fat camp. What you expect good to come out of that? They might treat the people them like prisoner, the pitney them. Yeah, but that's what I think. What you think? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.